I think that if I'm looking at the Bitcoin price action right now, the reactions we've been getting from one of the most critical levels of support has been quite weak here. So what am I expecting? What will I be doing with my upcoming trades? I am going to all discuss it on today's update video. I also will talk about the most important chart, which is telling us exactly what is about to be happening, because yesterday we had the Fed minutes, and yes, out of these Fed minutes we are having some very key takeaways, and that is why I need to discuss this chart to give you the expectations for what is about to be happening. It all will be discussed on today's update video, so make sure to watch this video till the end. I will give a big update about what I'm thinking. I'm gonna talk about a liquidity heat map because there's still some slight liquidity building up below us. I'm going to obviously talk about where I will be opening up my new massive Bitcoin long trade. I want to be talking about the massive outflows on the spot Ethereum ETF and what this historically has meant for the price action on Ether. So guys, a lot to discuss on today's update video, so don't forget to once again slap up that like button back above 1000 likes. It will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards today's update video. So yeah, what we're looking at right now is basically a downward sloping trend for Bitcoin, where we're creating lower highs every single time together with lower lows on the lower side, obviously, right? So we're trading in a massive downtrend right now here. And yes, we have been seeing this very important level of support I've talked about before as well. And so far we're bouncing from of this exact level right here. But all in all, what I'm seeing right now here is just not a very strong reaction from such a key level of support in the market. And what you would like to see is these bigger candles and these bigger reactions to really show there are a lot of buyers around that level. But currently, we cannot really see that here. So until Bitcoin is going to be flipping above the previous high here, I remain to be a little bit more cautious and remain to be believing the trend is going to continue towards the downside. And that is why already before we had this major dump here, I closed my Bitcoin long trades and I said that I'm going to be waiting for Bitcoin to all the way drop down to about 111 towards about 109,000 US dollars. And around that level, I am going to be accumulating over $10 million worth of Bitcoin trade positions. So guys, I have been setting up a lot of orders around these lower sides here, and yeah, I think really if we're going to come back towards this range right here, it is going to be a very great opportunity to accumulate a little bit in towards my positions, because historically always how Bitcoin has bounced in these regions is with the liquidity grab on the lower side. And since there is right now still some liquidity building up below us, I won't be surprised to be seeing this happening. And yeah, all in all, the reason why we got this dump right here in the market, I want you to fully understand it, is of course due to the fears that we're not going to get a rate cut, because before it was like 100% certain, and now it is already dropping towards 81% here. And yesterday we also had the Fed minutes, and in the Fed minutes there basically has been stated that tariffs may be taking a little bit longer to materialize as inflation. There are more growing concerns that assets are basically getting so heavily overvalued, like the stock market, like the housing market, and that is why they want to be keeping a high level of interest rates here. So yeah, maybe we are going to get an interest rate cut here, but it's going to be very important what the data is going to be telling us about the initial jobless claims here, because if the economy is getting worse, if more people are losing their job, they have to cut the rates here. But if this is going to get improved, for sure, they're most likely not going to cut the rates here. So today is going to be a very critical day also for the market, and I am expecting a lot of volatility. And also, whenever we're going to get the Jackson Hole speech here, guys, which is also going to come in very soon here, you have to understand that if he's going to be dovish or if he's going to be hawkish, most likely we're going to see a big pump and dump scheme across all markets, because that is what happened at least for the last 2 years here. So there is one thing for sure expected, and that is that major volatility is about to come. And for the ones that don't know whenever the Jackson Hole is going to be, it's starting today till the 23rd of August. So expect that major volatility is going to hit the markets. And whenever we see a big pump here, make sure to pay attention towards it, because we could reverse this thing very quickly here. So big volume and big volatility is expected right now here. And guys, if you want to be basically benefiting from the volatility that is about to upcome for Bitcoin, and you want to be trading on the cheapest exchange out there, guys, this is the last day that you can claim a free $1,000 position on Ethereum. And yeah, you can do so by signing up an account using that link below. And after that, confirming KYC and download the application. And if you've done so, you get a free 1K position on Ethereum. And if you make some extra deposits, you will get even more. And on top of that, guys, WeX is the cheapest exchange that you can operate right now here if you sign up using that first link in today's video description, because you will get a 25% fee rebate, which makes it, like I said, the cheapest exchange out there. So if you want to be taking any of these big trades like I am doing, like $10 million positions, WeX is definitely the best place to do so because it's the cheapest to operate on here. So very excited for this trade here. And of course, I am heavily betting on it. I mean, ultimately, I think Bitcoin is starting to look very bearish on the weekly time frame, but I do think we still have like a couple weeks left here before we are ultimately going to be entering that bear market. I mean, we have still seen a big sweep towards the upside in the global liquidity. And of course, if we're going to get rate cuts, the global liquidity is ultimately going to go higher. But if we won't, we could be seeing potentially a drop in the global liquidity. So guys, this is something to be paying attention towards there. But still, there's a slight push higher expected. And I think that that is going to be the last push for Bitcoin before ultimately we're going to be topping out for this entire market here. So important to understand here. Also, if we're looking back at the cycles, we should be having about 6 to 7 weeks left here before historically Bitcoin tops out here. And guys, I do also want to be mentioning, of course, the fact that we are right now seeing massive outflows on the Ethereum ETF here. Last time this happened, it was basically an opportunity of a lifetime. And before going further, guys, we have this private Telegram group here with over 380 traders in it right now here. We all share our trading setup, and we have some professional traders that they are literally sharing setups after setups after setups, and most of them, also like this Bitcoin short they took most recently, are very, very profitable. So if you want to be joining this free Telegram group here, also guys, I'm giving my private updates as well, and I'm engaging with you guys out there in the chat here. So guys, if you want to be joining this group here, it's very simple. Go to the second link in today's video description and join the private Telegram group here, and I'll see you over there. And of course, also a few things I also showed in the group, for example, was this trade on Ethereum that I said, okay, if we're going to come back towards this level, I'm expecting a big bounce, and boom, like you can see, we touched the level, and boom, we exactly bounced higher. So guys, we're sharing a lot of alpha in the group here, which I definitely don't want you to be missing out on. And also, for example, this is also a thing I discussed yesterday in the group here. I was looking up this downward sloping trend line while we were bouncing towards the upside, and boom, that is exactly where we got rejected from. So if you just want to be staying up to date on all the things on real time, don't forget to join the private Telegram group here. But anyways, Ethereum is right now creating the downward sloping resistance line right here on the top side, and it seems to be this is the level to be breaking for ETH here, and the ETH compared to Bitcoin valuation is still looking quite strong here, especially compared to Bitcoin, because Ethereum is seeing strong reactions from big levels of support, while if I'm looking at Bitcoin, they're seeing very weak reactions. So I remain to be believing Ethereum is probably going to be strong for the upcoming period. This is always what you see at the end stage of the cycle. The Bitcoin is still going to see a slight little drop lower. That is my expectation. That is why I have these trades open. And ultimately, I think it's a great time to be buying whenever we're going to be dipping towards this previous range here, right here. Like, this range is my accumulation range, exactly below the previous lows here, to sweep out the liquidity, and that is just a perfect grab here to push us once again higher. So this is my expectation on Bitcoin. It's a very simple strategy I have here. This is what Bitcoin likes to do here. Honestly, if I'm looking at most of the charts, like according to the Bitcoin dominance charts, etc., ultimately, altcoins are looking so great right now in this part of the cycle. So yeah, I really think, yeah, the last part of the cycle is usually where the biggest gains are made here. So that is why I'm playing and paying a lot of attention towards this market right now here. So guys, anyways, this was it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy, don't forget to slap on the like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course, don't forget to join the private Telegram group. Sign up an account to WeX, because this is the last day you can claim that free $1,000 Ethereum trade, and you will getting that 25% fee rebate. But guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.